The Griezmann saga finally looks to be over. Leipzig continue to build for the future. Wilfried Zaha can focus on his potential transfer. The oldest strike force in the world is here, and we've got a roundup of all the day's transfer rumours. That and more coming up in the next few minutes, as I'm your host, Matt Froelich. You are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. First up to Antoine Griezmann, where finally the saga is almost over. That's because in recent weeks there's been a dispute between Atletico and Barcelona over how they pay the transfer fee, but they appear to have sorted it. First off, Atleti wanted the €120 million release clause to be paid up front. Barcelona obviously wanted to pay it in installments because it's less of a burden on their transfer budget right now, especially if they're keeping a little bit aside, a lot aside, to try and pay for Neymar. But eventually, Barcelona looked to have caved. It's been said that they've transferred all the money to Atletico Madrid last night, and over the weekend the signing will become official. This brings to an end a very, very long-drawn saga, which has basically just made Antoine Griezmann look more of a fool. But in the end, he does get his move to Barcelona. So, on to some more transfer news, of course, and next up it's to RB Leipzig. They've already bought in Christopher Nkunku from PSG, who looks to be a really good attacking midfielder, but now it's looked like they've set their next sights on Ademola Luqman. Now, the Everton winger was actually on loan at Leipzig a few years back, and they made a massive bid for him last summer of around 28 million. This was rebuffed by Everton, but after a Premier League season which hasn't really seen him get involved too much, RB Leipzig are now back in for the wide man. Around 15 million is the amount that they've offered for him, but Everton don't see him as such a cheap player, and they want more for him, which has led to a few Everton fans even being pretty annoyed. Either you keep him and you play him, or you just let him go. That seems to be the message from the Goodison Park faithful. If he does move to Germany, he could become another hit sensation, just like Jadon Sancho, but there is interest from elsewhere. If Luqman doesn't move to Leipzig, he could move to Crystal Palace, and that's because they've got one winger who looks to be on his way out in Wilfried Zaha. And that conveniently brings us to our next news story of the day, and it's that Wilfried Zaha now has time to sort out his future because the Ivory Coast have been knocked out of the African Cup of Nations. After drawing 1-1, Algeria beat them 4-3 on penalties to set up a semi-final on Sunday with Nigeria, so it means that the likes of Wilfried Zaha can come home and hash out a potential deal to Arsenal. At the moment, they've offered a rather paltry 40 million for the player, but I think in the next few weeks, especially if they can get in a bit of money, they'll be able to up their price and bring Zaha in. In the other quarter-final, Tunisia booked a place for Senegal in the semi-final after bringing Madagascar's unbelievable run to an end. It was their first time in the competition. They finished top of their group, including an amazing victory over Nigeria, with 7 points, and managed to knock out DR Congo on penalties, but unfortunately, their brilliant run ends in the quarter-finals. This means that the tournament does go on a little longer for such stars like Idrissa Gueye from Everton and Sadio Mane from Liverpool, who is in well need of a rest. So next up, and to one of the deadliest strike forces in Japanese football, and probably the oldest in the world. Japanese second-tier side Yokohama FC have signed Shizuki Nakamura. At the age of 41, most of you will probably remember him for his brilliant seasons at Celtic, where he led them to a few titles and some glorious Champions League nights, including a victory over Manchester United with that stunning free kick. But at 41 years of age, he is not the oldest player in the squad, far from it. That's because the oldest player in the squad is Kazuyoshi Miura at the age of 52 years old. He actually started his professional career in 1986 with Santos in Brazil, and he won the last of his 89 Japanese caps 19 years ago. He's still going, and in 2017 became the oldest player in the world to score a professional goal, beating the record of Sir Stanley Matthews. This brings their strike force to a combined age of 93 years old as the side push for promotion into the J-League. So lastly but not least, we come to a roundup of the day's transfer news, where Barcelona have signed West Brom's 16-year-old striker Louis Barry on a 3-year deal. Elsewhere, and Spurs have agreed personal terms with Betis' Giovanni Lo Celso. Laurent Koscielny has been offered a 3-year deal by Bordeaux after refusing to join in on Arsenal's pre-season tour. And Lautaro Martinez's agent has said that the Inter Milan player is being courted by Barcelona, with the Spanish champions interested in a big money move. So where will Griezmann fit in at Barcelona, and do you think the Wilfried Zaha deal will actually be done to Arsenal? Of course, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below about that and all of the rest of today's daily news. Whilst you're down there, you can smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys later.